Reflections on the centennial celebration were summarized really well this morning by His Grace Bishop Daniel when he spoke about remembering, rejoicing, and renewing. Remembering our founders, benefactors, and builders of this church, and rejoicing in these days of celebration. Singing in the choir was an amazing experience, not only to be surrounded by the choir members that are normally with us, but with other Orthodox Christians that were there with us today, and how beautiful it was to lift our voices in this as part of this celebration. And then renewing where we're going as a parish and continuing our outreach. These last few years have been very isolating. And this celebration really brought people back together again in many ways, whether they attend an event or whether they're here celebrating today with us in church or at our functions. We haven't been able to gather like that. Today was the first time we heard a children's choir in years. And what a blessing to hear those children and to see them sing in our church.
I was so glad I get to go to many hierarchical divine liturgies because of my involvement in the FOCA, so it was so wonderful to have the other people of my parish here to enjoy and to witness what that is like. The church was completely packed. It was such a beautiful sight to see so many people, and so many people who are in church every Sunday, so many people who don't come to church that often, and people who came in just to celebrate it with us. It was just such a wonderful event.
Following liturgy, we had a spectacular banquet. We had over 300 friends and guests and people who were important in the life of our parish, representing our past and our present, and a number of children were in attendance who represent our future.
The banquet, I gave the toast, and when I was sitting up on the dais and I looked out at this sea of people, I've never seen the party center packed so full. It was just such a wonderful event to see all of those people and have them share their joy with us for our 100th anniversary.
To help commemorate the weekend, we also planted a tree behind the church. We brought the children up to help place the dirt back on to the tree so that they had a hand in its planting, because we really want them to know that they are such an important part of the future of our parish.
The time capsule, I think, adds a snippet of history for this parish for those that will someday open it. I was laughing that we don't have a date picked, but I don't know that it's a date that we should choose. I think it's a date that we leave to those who follow to decide when they would like to see what it was like back in our time and what our children thought of the church. Many of the Sunday school students wrote their thoughts and feelings about church. So their names are on there, their family members are on there, a little bit about them is in there, but then what do you love about church? And I think that it will be interesting to be able to read that and maybe someday see them as adults and remind them or show them what they wrote as a child in church and how much church meant to them at that point in their lives.
Vespers on Saturday night were really special. To see all of these kids that I talk to on a weekly basis become blessed subdeacons just got to my heart. It's so great to see that group of kids, and there were a lot, I think there were 8 of them, wanted to be such a special part of the church because it's an honor for them to do that, and they had to take a class and they had to learn. So in order to see that it was wonderful. It was just a beautiful thing.
We wanted to make Sunday about our parish and all about our families and really get the children involved. So from having the children sing some responses during the liturgy, they greeted His Grace as he came to the church, and then we had a brunch and a lot of just fun activities for the kids, bounce houses and face painters and a magician. We really wanted to bring the kids together and make sure that they know that they're a very important part of this parish family, and we wanted to have a fun day for them.
The more you involve the kids in church, the more they feel that attachment to church, and the more they want to come to church. So to see these kids coming together and to have the church full of kids today was wonderful.
I encourage everyone who has an interest in learning more about this parish to come visit us, to come see and experience a divine liturgy, to come talk with our parishioners, to come join us for coffee hour, and to come share in our Orthodox faith.